Eli Turner sat in the small communications room, staring at the blinking console in front of him. The hum of the ship's engines was steady, almost comforting. But the signal he had just received made his stomach tighten. It was strange, unlike anything he had seen before. A faint pattern of repeating pulses, coming from the edge of explored space. At first, he thought it might be an interference, maybe a glitch in the sensors, but as he watched the sequence, he realized it was deliberate. Someone, or something, was sending a message. He tapped the console and ran a decryption routine. His fingers moved quickly, following every step he had learned in training. After a few minutes, the message became clear. It was not just a signal. It was a call for help. The words, translated into human language by the universal translator, appeared on the screen. "Our world is dying. We have no allies. Please come." Eli's heart skipped a beat. He had heard about distress calls before, but this one felt different. There was urgency, fear, and despair all mixed together. He knew immediately that this was serious. He rose from his chair and rushed to the bridge. Commander Laura Bennett was reviewing navigation charts when he arrived. "Commander," Eli said, trying to keep his voice steady, "you need to see this. It's a distress signal from an unknown system. I think they need help." Laura leaned over his shoulder, reading the message. Her eyes narrowed. "Unknown species?" she asked. "Yes," Eli replied. "I ran it through the database. Nothing matches. But the message is clear. They are asking for help, and it seems urgent." Laura paused. She had been in space long enough to know that helping unknown species could be dangerous. The galaxy was full of hostile worlds and cunning civilizations. But she also knew something else. Humans were new to the stars, and part of their mission was exploration and assistance. They could not ignore a call like this. "Plot a course," she said finally. "We're going to see who needs our help." Eli's fingers flew over the controls. The ship hummed and shifted as it changed direction. The message replayed in his mind. "Our world is dying. We have no allies. Please come." It was strange to think that across countless light years, someone was calling out to them. The thought that they might arrive too late made his stomach twist. On the planet Varen, the aliens who had sent the message were watching the sky. Their cities were silent now, empty streets filled with dust and debris. Buildings that once gleamed with strange metals were scarred by fire and collapse. Their enemies, the Korth Dominion, had come with weapons unlike anything the Varen could resist. The few survivors moved in shadows, trying to avoid detection. Sira Velen, a young scout leader, stood atop a hill, looking at the horizon. Her antennas twitched slightly as she sensed movement in the air. She had lived through countless battles, but this one had broken her. Her people had fought bravely, but the Korth were relentless. Their ships were massive, and their weapons could level entire cities in minutes. The Varen had called for help before, but their allies had turned them away. Every time, their pleas had gone unanswered. Now, Sira felt a small spark of hope. A new signal had appeared in the sky, one they had never seen before. It was faint at first, but growing stronger. She did not know what it meant, but something told her it was different. Perhaps someone was finally coming. Back on the human ship, Eli watched the screens carefully. The planet Varen appeared as a small blue-green dot on the navigation display. Sensors showed damage across the surface. The cities were barely standing, and strange energy readings indicated that defensive systems had been destroyed. "This is worse than I thought," Eli said quietly. Laura nodded. "It's a risk, but we cannot leave them to die." She turned to the communications console. "Send a message. Tell them we are coming. Tell them they are not alone." Eli hesitated for a moment. The language of the Varen was strange, alien. He was not sure if they could understand human words, but the universal translator would do its best. He typed quickly, sending a message of reassurance. Moments later, the signal returned. It was a series of clicks and pulses, this time slightly more urgent. The aliens were watching, waiting, perhaps still afraid. As the human fleet jumped into faster-than-light travel, the Varen watched the sky with anticipation. Ships unlike any they had seen before were coming. They were larger than the Korth fighters, but smaller than the massive cruisers that had attacked their cities. The humans moved with precision. A strange confidence in the way they approached the planet. Sira felt a mix of fear and hope. She had never met these beings, and she did not know if they would fight or if they would leave as quickly as the other allies had. But something about the way they moved gave her courage. Perhaps this time, help had arrived. When the humans finally entered the planet's orbit, sensors on both sides picked up each other. Sira's heart raced. She had seen ships before, but never like these. They were sleek, with lights that moved in patterns she had never understood. The humans seemed calm, organized, and ready. Laura addressed her crew. "Remember, they are calling for help. We are here to protect them, not to fight unless necessary. Prepare the landing teams and defensive units. We do not know what awaits us on the ground." Eli helped coordinate the preparations. The Varen signals continued to pulse. Sira tried to communicate, sending small messages in her language. The universal translator picked up the words, and Eli read them aloud. "They do not trust us," he said. "They are scared. They have been betrayed before." Laura nodded. "Then we show them we are different." When the human landing teams touched down, the Varen hid, watching from a distance. Sira led a small group to investigate. She stayed behind a rock as the humans moved carefully, speaking in soft tones, scanning the area. Their behavior was unlike any warrior species she had seen. They did not shout or attack immediately. They seemed to study, understand, and adjust. Eli stepped forward, holding up a small device that glowed softly. "We come in peace," he said. "We received your call. We are here to help." Sira's antennas twitched. She wanted to believe him, but her mind remembered every betrayal. Her people had called for help many times, and no one had come. She took a step closer, then another, until she was close enough to see his face. There was something in his eyes, something she could not understand. It was not fear, not arrogance, not hunger for power. It was calm. She signaled to her people to stay hidden. "Do not approach yet," she whispered. Eli knelt slightly, showing that he was not a threat. "I know you have been through a lot," he said gently. "We do not want to hurt you. We want to help you rebuild, to defend your people from the ones who destroyed your cities." The words were strange, but the translator allowed her to understand. Sira felt a tiny flicker of hope. Perhaps this time, things could be different. She had never seen a species risk so much for strangers. Humans were unlike any she had imagined. As the first night fell on Varen, humans set up temporary shelters and began scanning the cities for survivors. The Varen watched silently, amazed at how quickly the humans adapted. They used simple tools, but with efficiency and creativity that the Varen had never seen. They repaired damaged systems, reinforced broken structures, and shared their food and water without hesitation. Sira moved closer, her curiosity stronger than her fear. She noticed the humans laughing softly among themselves as they worked. Despite the danger around them, there was an energy in them, a resilience that made her chest tighten. She had thought her people were alone, but these beings seemed different. Eli noticed her from across the field. He waved, smiling slightly. Sira hesitated, then nodded, understanding that this human meant no harm. She took another step closer to the humans, watching as they prepared defenses for the cities. For the first time in weeks, the Varen felt a sense of hope. Perhaps, just perhaps, help had arrived in the form they never expected. Small, soft, human, but determined. The night passed slowly. The stars above Varen were bright and cold. But Sira felt warmth in her heart. She did not yet trust fully, but she knew this. The humans were different from all others. And that difference might be exactly what her people needed to survive. When the first rays of light touched the ruined cities, humans and Varen worked side by side, preparing for the next challenge. Both sides could feel the tension of what was coming. They did not yet know the full strength of their enemies, but for the first time, they felt a spark of hope. Eli Turner looked at the horizon and whispered to himself, "We are here. You are not alone." Sira Velen watched him silently, and for the first time, she believed that maybe, just maybe, survival was possible. The morning sun cast a soft glow over the ruined cities of Varen. Dust rose from broken streets as humans moved carefully, setting up defensive positions and checking damaged structures. Eli Turner walked beside Commander Laura Bennett, observing the strange alien architecture. He had never seen a world like this. The buildings were tall and thin, made of metal that shimmered in colors humans could not fully name. Sira Velen stayed hidden at the edge of a ruined plaza, her eyes following every movement of the humans. She had led scouts before, but never had she watched a species so different work with such calm and efficiency. They were small compared to the Korth soldiers she had faced, softer too. But something about the way they moved told her they were strong in ways she could not yet understand. One of the humans, a young engineer named Ryan Cole, knelt by a broken energy generator. His hands moved quickly, adjusting wires and sensors. Sparks flew occasionally, but he remained focused. A Varen scout whispered to Sira, "They are fragile. If the Korth attack, they will die." Sira shook her head. "Do not judge them yet. Watch. Learn. They are not like us, but they are not weak either." Eli approached Sira's hiding place cautiously, holding a small translator device. He raised a hand in a peaceful gesture. "We mean no harm," he said gently. "We only want to help your people survive." Sira stepped out slowly, antennas twitching. Her eyes narrowed at him. "You are far from your world," she said. "Why do you care about us?" Eli smiled softly. "Because we do not leave anyone to face danger alone. On Earth, we help those in need, even if we do not know them. That is who we are." Sira tilted her head. The words were strange, but the tone was honest. She did not fully understand humans yet, but she felt something in their calmness. Perhaps they were different from the species that had abandoned her people before. Commander Laura walked forward, her hands raised to show peace. "We are here to defend you. We can repair what is broken, improve what we can, and protect your cities from the Korth." A soft murmur passed through the group of Varen who had gathered. Many of them still hid in the shadows, unsure if they could trust these strange visitors. Their people had called for help before and been abandoned. This time, however, the humans did not ask for anything in return. They simply worked. Ryan Cole straightened from the generator and wiped sweat from his brow. "We should set up a perimeter," he said to Eli. "If the Korth come back, they will expect empty cities. We need to be ready." Eli nodded. "I will coordinate the defensive drones. Laura, do you want ground teams in the city streets?" Laura's eyes swept the ruins. "Yes. We need to protect any survivors and secure key points. If the Korth arrive, we cannot be caught unprepared." Sira moved closer to Eli, watching as he gave orders. There was a confidence in him, a clarity that made her believe he knew what he was doing. "Your people are brave," she said quietly, "but you are few." Eli looked at her. "Numbers are not everything. We have speed, tactics, and the will to survive. And we will work with your people, not just for them. Together, we can hold the line." Sira considered his words. It was hard to trust so quickly. But the humans did not act like conquerors. They did not demand obedience or tribute. They only wanted to help. That was unusual in the galaxy. As the day passed, humans and Varen began to work side by side, Some Varen helped carry supplies. Others showed humans how to move safely through the ruined streets. Slowly, the walls between them began to shrink. Eli led a small team to inspect a collapsed bridge that had once connected two major city districts. "If we can rebuild this," he said, "your people can move safely without being trapped in one area." Sira accompanied him. "It will not be easy." The Korth destroyed the supports with heavy weapons. Many bridges on this world are gone. Eli examined the debris carefully. "We can use your materials. Strengthen them with some of our alloys. It will hold longer and be safer." Sira watched as the humans worked. They lifted heavy beams with machines she had never seen before. They measured, calculated, and adjusted with precision. In a few hours, they had created a temporary support strong enough for people to cross safely. "This is faster than our engineers could do it," Sira admitted. "And safer too." Eli shrugged. "We are used to solving problems with limited resources. Your people are strong, but sometimes a fresh approach helps." The Varen could not hide their curiosity. Small groups gathered to observe, whispering among themselves. Humans worked calmly, even when pieces of debris shifted dangerously. They did not panic. They did not rush blindly. Their calmness seemed strange, but it inspired confidence. By midday, a Varen elder named Lyra Talon approached. Her antennas twitched nervously as she studied the humans. "You are different from all who came before," she said softly. "You risk your lives for strangers." "Why?" Laura stepped forward. "Because we believe it is right. Because no one should face annihilation alone. That is our way." Lyra's eyes widened. "And you ask for nothing in return?" Eli shook his head. "We ask only that you survive and learn to defend yourselves. We can leave once you are ready. But for now, we are here to help." The elder hesitated, then nodded. "Then we accept your help. But understand, many of our people do not trust outsiders. It will take time for them to believe you." Eli smiled gently. "We understand. We will be patient." That afternoon, the sky darkened with distant clouds. Sira noticed unusual readings on her scanners. "Korth ships," she whispered. "They are gathering near the edge of the system. They are preparing for another attack." Laura turned her eyes toward the horizon. "We expected this. Prepare the defensive drones and ground teams. We cannot allow them to catch us off guard." Eli moved quickly, sending orders to the human squads. They spread out in the streets, using the terrain to their advantage. Small drones hovered above, scanning for incoming ships. Humans set up portable shields and energy barriers at key points. They moved calmly, even though the tension in the air was heavy. Sira watched, amazed. The humans seemed unafraid, but not reckless. They calculated each move with care. "They are brave," she said quietly to herself. "Braver than any species I have seen." As the sun began to set, a Varen child ran up to Sira, pointing toward the humans. "They are helping us," the child said. "Why are they helping?" Sira crouched to the child's level. "Because they choose to. They are not like the others. They fight for what is right, even if it is dangerous." The child nodded slowly, eyes wide. "I hope they stay." Eli noticed the small group of Varen observing from a distance. He waved gently, showing they meant no harm. Slowly, the Varen came closer, drawn by the humans' actions. They began to carry supplies, assist in repairs, and even help with defensive setups. By nightfall, the city had changed. It was still scarred, but there was life again. Fires burned in controlled areas for warmth and light, and humans and Varen moved through the streets with purpose. Sira could not deny it. The humans had brought hope where there had been only despair. Ryan Cole approached Eli with a small report. "Sensors indicate the Korth fleet is larger than expected. They may attack at first light. We need a plan." Eli nodded. "We will prepare. But remember, we are not alone. Your people will fight with us, and together we can hold them." Sira listened, realizing that humans did not rely on fear. They relied on strategy. courage, and cooperation. She had never seen a species so small accomplish so much with such calm determination. As the night deepened, the humans gathered in small groups to rest, but their alertness never wavered. They took shifts watching the horizon, ready for the enemy. Their calm focus impressed Sira more than words could describe. Before resting herself, Sira stood at the edge of the plaza, looking at the humans. She whispered to the wind, "Perhaps we were wrong to think no one would answer our call. Perhaps there is hope yet." And for the first time in weeks, she believed it. The next morning, the sky over Varen was streaked with the first light of dawn. Humans and Varen moved quietly, preparing for the coming attack. The sensors on the ground picked up movement far beyond the planet's orbit. Massive ships, dark and menacing, were gathering at the edge of the system. The Korth Dominion had returned. Sira Velen stood on a hill with Eli Turner beside her. The young scout's antennas twitched nervously. "They are many," she said. "We cannot fight them alone." Eli nodded calmly. "We are not alone. Your people are with us, and we have strategies they cannot predict. We will hold them." Sira shook her head slightly. "I have seen fleets like this destroy entire cities. Your ships are small. You are risking too much." Eli smiled faintly. "Size is not everything. Speed, coordination, and adaptability can change the outcome. Watch and see." Below them, human engineers worked to finish the defensive preparations. Shields glimmered faintly as they activated energy barriers along the ruined city streets. Drones hovered above, scanning the horizon and marking potential Korth landing points. Humans moved efficiently, calmly, as if they had faced impossible odds many times before. Commander Laura Bennett walked beside Eli. "The Korth will test our defenses," she said. "We must be ready for anything." Eli nodded. "We have positioned drones in patterns they won't expect. Our ground teams are ready to react quickly. And the Varen know the terrain better than we do. They will guide us." Sira watched the humans move. Their calm and confidence made her wonder how such small beings could inspire hope in a world so broken. Slowly, she began to trust them. By mid-morning, the Korth fleet entered the system. The dark ships cast shadows over Varen as they moved with intimidating precision. Their weapons glowed ominously, and their commanders expected an easy victory. They had destroyed the Varen before and believed these humans would flee, as other allies had. But the humans did not move away. Their ships took positions between the Korth fleet and the cities. Forming a thin but solid line, smaller craft darted around, fast and precise, preparing to intercept enemy fighters. Eli turned to Sira. "This is it. Watch closely. Humans fight differently. We will adapt to their attacks." Sira's eyes widened as the first Korth cruisers fired. Massive energy beams struck the planet, but human shields absorbed the impact, deflecting much of the damage. Ground teams moved swiftly, activating barriers and guiding civilians to safe areas. Ryan Cole and a small group of human engineers worked quickly to repair any damaged energy nodes. Sparks flew, but they did not panic. Each repair made a difference, strengthening the defenses just enough to hold the enemy at bay. Sira watched in awe. Humans moved with calm purpose, thinking ahead at every moment. They were smaller and weaker physically, but they made up for it with intelligence, speed, and courage. As the battle continued, Korth fighters broke away from the main fleet, descending toward the planet's surface. They expected little resistance, but the humans were ready. Swift drones intercepted the enemy ships, weaving through their attacks and striking with precise energy blasts. Eli coordinated the drones with a small device in his hand, his eyes focused but calm. "Target the smaller fighters first," he instructed. "Do not waste time on the larger ships yet. We need to control the sky above the city." Sira's heart pounded. The drones moved like living things, darting and striking with incredible speed. Several Korth ships exploded before they even reached the city streets. She had never seen anything like it. Laura's voice came over the comms. Ground teams, hold your positions. Protect the civilians and the generators. The Korth will try to breach our lines. React quickly, but do not panic. The humans obeyed immediately, moving in synchronized patterns. They set traps in narrow streets, using temporary barriers to funnel Korth soldiers into areas where drones and energy turrets could strike efficiently. Sira realized something important. Humans did not fight with brute force alone. They planned, adapted, and used strategy at every step. Their calmness under pressure allowed them to see solutions that the Varen had never considered. Eli moved closer to the front lines. Keep civilians behind the barriers, he instructed. The Korth will try to break morale first. Do not let fear control you. Stay focused. Several Varen warriors joined him, inspired by his words. They followed his instructions, reinforcing barricades and directing families to safe zones. Slowly, Sira began to see a change in her people. The fear that had paralyzed them for weeks began to lessen. The Korth commander grew frustrated. His fleet was designed to crush entire worlds quickly, but the humans adapted to every move. When his ships fired, drones intercepted. When ground soldiers advanced, humans countered with traps and coordinated defenses. The humans were unpredictable, and that made them dangerous. Sira's group fought alongside the humans. She noticed how they shared knowledge quickly, communicating with gestures, simple words, and devices that translated languages instantly. Even though they were different, humans and Varen acted as one force. Hours passed. The Korth pushed hard, trying to overwhelm the defenses. But humans adjusted every step of the way. They repaired damage as quickly as it appeared and used misdirection to lure enemy soldiers into traps. At one point, a Korth fighter broke through the main line. It moved toward a crowded plaza, firing energy beams. Eli reacted immediately. He activated a series of drones, surrounding the ship and forcing it to retreat. Sira could not believe what she saw. A single human had turned the tide of that attack, with a few quick decisions and careful timing. Ryan Cole and his engineers continued to repair generators under fire. Sparks flew as enemy beams struck, but they did not flinch. Each repair allowed energy shields to hold longer, keeping civilians safe. Sira found herself moving faster than she had before, directing her people with confidence she had never felt. Humans inspired courage by example. Their calm determination spread through her group like fire. As the sun began to set, the Korth commander realized his advantage was gone. His fleet was larger, but humans used speed, strategy, and creativity to counter every attack. The Varen watched in disbelief as these small, soft beings held their ground against an overwhelming enemy. Eli called out from the front lines. They are tired. They do not expect this resistance. Keep pushing. Use every advantage you have. Sira moved beside him, guiding a small group of Varen warriors. I understand now, she said quietly. Humans are not weak. They fight differently, but they are stronger than most species I have seen. They adapt, plan, and never give up. The Korth commander tried one last assault, sending massive cruisers to bombard the city directly. Humans adjusted immediately. Drones swarmed around the larger ships, interfering with their targeting systems. Ground teams moved mobile shields and turrets into new positions. Even the smallest human adjustments had big effects. In the chaos, civilians were protected, generators kept working, and streets remained under control. The Korth ships, frustrated and damaged, began to retreat. Their commander realized that he had underestimated the humans. Sira felt a wave of relief. The city had survived the first attack. Her people cheered quietly, still cautious but filled with hope. Humans did not celebrate loudly. They moved quickly to check for damage, tend to the wounded, and prepare for any follow-up attacks. Their focus never wavered. Eli approached Sira. This is only the beginning, he said. They may come back stronger. But today, your people survived because we fought together. Tomorrow, We will do it again. Better. Sira nodded slowly. I believe you, she said. I have seen what humans can do. I understand now. You are different from any species I have ever known. Laura joined them, surveying the city. We will hold them, and your people will fight with us. Together, we can protect this world. Sira looked around at the humans and her own people working side by side. She realized that trust had begun to grow. Slowly but surely. Humans were not just helping them survive. They were teaching the Varen how to fight differently, how to plan, how to adapt. The night came, quiet and tense. Humans set watch points, kept drones active, and checked all defensive systems. Varen warriors took shifts beside them. Learning and observing, Sira stood with Eli, watching the stars. You were right, she said softly. Strength is not only in size or weapons. It is in courage, planning, and the will to survive. Your people have all of that, and more. Eli smiled faintly. That is what makes humans human, he said. We fight for those in need, even when it is dangerous, and we adapt. That is why we survived, and why we will continue to survive. Sira looked at him and nodded. For the first time, she believed that the humans would not leave. They would stay, fight, and protect the Varen people. The impossible task of survival suddenly felt possible, and as the stars above Varen twinkled silently, humans and Varen prepared for the battles yet to come. United in purpose, learning from each other, and ready to face whatever the Korth Dominion would throw at them next.